Hello and welcome back to our channel. We hope you're doing well. In today's video, we decided to share with you our resources for learning Korean as well as some tips. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. This app was another really amazing find. It's almost like every other language learning app but better. It has learning tips and it's quite good to learn Hangul characters because unlike many other apps that introduce Korean vowels as syllables, which can be very confusing to beginners, Lingodeer teaches you them as single characters and then explains how to use them in writing. However, the remaining lessons are paid and it's up to you to decide whether it's worth the money or not. I found this app just recently, but I immediately fell in love with it. It uses a different technique than any app I've used before. Instead of teaching you Korean through a language that you already speak, which is most of the times English, it teaches you through pictures, which is very similar to how a baby is first introduced to language. You see, for example, a picture of an apple and hear the word sagwa. Then your brain starts associating apples with the word sagwa. This app has a really adorable theme and very good lessons and teaching technique. You only have free access to the first chapter of each lesson and you have to pay a subscription to move on to other chapters, but it's totally worth it.
조깅하다.
They also have a selection of lessons about Korean culture, which I find to be very innovative in a language learning app, and it's really helpful to get you acquainted with the different aspects of the Korean culture and traditions. For reading practice, I highly suggest Korean kids stories because they have much easier and simpler words and they're usually short. And an alternative that I highly recommend is Beelinguapp. This app has a selection of stories that you can choose to hear the audio version of them as well as read them yourself.
일본 문화는 매우 자연 친화적인 것으로 유명합니다. 일본에서 가장 깊게 뿌리내린 전통 가운데 하나는 온센이라고 부르는 온천 온천에서 목욕하는 것입니다.
You probably already know about this website if you've tried learning Korean, and it's a really good one. They have workbooks with levels to purchase if you want, and you get to take a test so they know your level of Korean. They also have a YouTube channel which I refer to frequently for cute bite-sized lessons. Their videos are so entertaining to watch and they're brief, but they do not lack in knowledge.
안녕하세요. That's hello in Korean. I'm Hyunwoo and you're watching Talk to Me in Korean. This is a video for absolute beginners who have recently decided to start learning Korean.
They also have a podcast that you can listen to on Spotify.
Welcome to Real Life Korean Conversations for Beginners from TalkToMeInKorean.com.
Learn Korean with David, in which he makes short episodes on some Korean sentences and expressions and when and how to use them. I came across this website and I can probably state that this alone will be enough for you to learn Korean like never before. It has different units and each unit comes with lessons, and each unit you get a list of vocabulary to memorize. It starts with the basics like Hangul characters and builds up to Korean sentence structure and so on. The progression of the lessons is very smooth in my opinion, and I learned a lot from using this website. These tips apply to learning any language and not specifically Korean. You can do this through an app or whichever method you like, but make sure you know the characters well before embarking on grammar and vocabulary. And with a language like Korean that uses syllables 100% in writing, then you want to make sure that you know how to read the syllables and how to assemble them. Now this goes hand in hand with the previous one. When you know how to read, you wouldn't need romanization, and this will help you practice your reading skills as well as better your pronunciation. And in so many cases, romanization can be very confusing when reading and might lead you to mispronounce some words. If you can find people who natively speak the language or are just fluent, then I suggest you try speaking to them with the language you're learning, and they can help you correct mistakes as well as get you more used to conversations in Korean. This will get you more familiar with the language and can help teach you some vocabulary. In fact, most of the words I know in Korean are songs I got from K-dramas and K-songs. This is self-explanatory, but practice does make perfect. So make sure you practice Korean often so you don't forget what you learned and make bigger progress in the language. If you want to make remarkable progress, then you should be serious about learning it. And this can be done in many ways. I suggest you get a separate notebook for Korean, practice vocabulary every day, and try writing and reading Korean at least once a day. This might seem useless to some, but trust me, it works. Say you just learned a new word and you're having difficulty memorizing it. Switch the meaning of that word in your daily speaking into Korean. For example, you just learned that pretty is 예뻐요. Then whenever you want to say the word pretty, say 예뻐요 instead. Like, oh my god, this flower is so 예뻐요. Or if you're more advanced, 어머, 이거 곧 너무 예쁘다. And lastly, have fun with the language. I know I said to take it seriously, but that doesn't mean it can't be fun to learn it. You can learn through songs and shows, and there are some fun apps that will make learning Korean more enjoyable. Everything mentioned in this video will be linked down below. So that was it for this video, you guys. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts and leave a like to support us. We hope to see you in our next video. Bye!